it's Shapiro here. I want to welcome you to the Myotonic Dystrophy Foundation Annual Conference, which is a little bit different this year, as you know. So I'm coming to you from Tucson, Arizona, and some of you know my dog Sabra, and she'll be featured in this video as well. I want to give a shout out to all those people that came to our yoga webinar. And also I gave a 4-week series, and a bunch of people from the community came for chair yoga. I'd like to say hi to them, and I know they're big fans of Sabra's. And then I also want to give a shout out to anybody that's new in yoga, and just to let you know that yoga is an old, ancient practice, but it's very useful in the modern world for gaining flexibility, for strength, for relaxation and calmness, for keeping our joints juicy, for focusing, and for digestion too. So let's start off with just a chair check. So we want to have a chair that won't move, so we don't want to be, slipping and sliding. If you're in a wheelchair, that's fine. Please join our session. Just put your wheelchair on lock. And basically, we would like your feet to be on the ground. Here, Sabra. Move, Sabra. Good girl. Come here. And so we would like your feet to be on the ground. And if they're not on the ground, you can take books, or I have the yoga blocks here just to show you, but you could take a blanket or books or something so that your feet touch the ground and you feel grounded. Also, for these stretches that we're going to be doing, we want to sit up in our chair if possible. If that's not possible, that's fine to lean back, but just see if you can have a tall back, as tall as possible. So, of course, yoga should not hurt, so we would like you to not do anything that hurts. Feel free to, if we're doing 5 of repetitions, feel free to do 2 if that's what feels good for you today. Yoga is all about honoring your own self and where you're at. It's not like synchronized swimming, is what I always say. So let's get on with it and start off with just some centering, just to get us sort of grounded in the space. And what I mean by that is just letting go of what came before this session, letting go of what's coming after this session, and just being here right now in this chair yoga class, gentle chair yoga. So one of the ways we can do that is just to observe our breath. So we're just observing, is the breath feel smooth today? Is it feeling rough? Is it feeling even between the inhale and the exhale? Do you feel your breath more in the nose, in the throat, in the chest, or in the belly? None of those are wrong. We're just inquiring, but there's no right or wrong answer to those questions. So just follow your breath. Be curious about your breath. 2 more full breaths that you're observing. And sometimes just taking a few breaths can really calm me down. So I invite you to try that. Okay, so we're just going to start by doing a few warm-ups to the lower body first. And my feet are on the ground. I'm just putting them on the yoga blocks so that you can probably see it a little more clearly. And I'm just going to work with my toes first. And everybody's toes are different. And if your toes can bend down and up, bend them down and up. If they can't bend down and up, just do whatever they can do. Maybe they move a little bit, or maybe they can move quite a bit. So if you're on the floor, you can do this, or if you're on your books, you can do this. So I'm just letting my toes come up and down a A couple more times. Great. And then if you want to stretch out your legs, and if you can point and flex your feet, that's really fine, wonderful. That's what I'm doing here. Point and flex. Point and flex. And sometimes your feet might say, I don't want to do that, or not today, or that just doesn't feel good for me. So this one, that's okay. You just will pass this one, and maybe this next one you'll want to join for a windshield wiper. So I'm just moving my toes to one side. My heels are staying on the ground. So I'm just going back and forth. Windshield wiper, feet. Good. Great. See, you're doing yoga already. Now, let's go ahead and do some love, give some love to our knees. So I'm picking up one knee and I'm holding under my thigh with my hands, and then I'm just bringing that foot up and back. And we'll do that 4 more times. Up, back, up, back. And when you've had enough, like I was saying, you're just gonna stop whenever you've had enough. And then gently placing that foot back on the ground, we'll pick up the other foot. And again, up and back. I should say pick up the leg, holding underneath the thigh. And we'll do that a couple more times. And just giving some love to that knee. Great. And then we'll also go ahead and get our hips ready for a stretch. But first I just want to take one leg and put it to the side. And then back to the center. You might want to scooch up. You can also hold the sides of your chair for stability. You can hold one side, the side of the leg that's not moving, or you can hold both sides and just gently move that leg from side to side. We're just warming up the hips a little bit by moving the legs. And then we'll pause here and then we'll go to the other side. And we'll do a couple more on the other side. And you should feel your hips saying hello. Great. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, some of you have done this in my yoga class, we're just going to take the one leg. I have my right foot up on my left knee. So while this foot is up, and if this is not possible for you, you can just cross at the bottom. Now you won't be able to do this massage with us, but still you'll get a little stretch. So if your right foot is up, now it doesn't matter, sometimes your knee won't want to go down, that's okay. And while your foot is up there, I just want to point out that you can give yourself a little foot massage, you can squeeze and release, which is really good for your neuropathy, to get some blood there. You can also squeeze each toe, which is good. You can just give yourself a little foot massage, which is nice. You can even roll your ankles in circles while you're here. So let's do that. Rolling in one direction gently. Everything's super gentle in yoga. If it hurts, it's not yoga. I don't know what it is. And then relax and go in the other direction gently. And then pause. Now, just sitting here with my foot up on my knee might be enough of a stretch. So you can stay here for the count of 5. Or if you need a bigger stretch, you would just hinge at the hip forward and you're going to feel a bigger stretch in your hip. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I definitely feel that in my hip. And then gently take that leg down, let it come back to center, and then bring the other foot up. I'm much tighter on this side, so that's really normal to be tighter on one side than the other. So my knee doesn't really want to go down any more than this. But I'm going to give myself a little foot massage, and you do the same. You can squeeze and release, or you can just rub your foot. So good for us to get some little bit of squeezing down in the feet. And then while we have that foot on top of the knee, we can roll the ankle. You're just using our hands, just I'm holding gently onto the leg somewhere, like I can hold onto my knee, and then I'm just moving the ankle in a circle. And then pause and roll that ankle in the other direction. Okay, and just like we did on the other side, we do want to do everything equally on both sides. We're going to come down, hinging at the hip. Now, I don't have to come very far on this side to feel a stretch. So I'm not holding on tight to my leg here. I'm not cranking or anything. I'm just gently coming down until I feel a stretch in the left hip. And let's do a few more of these on this side. Good. And then we'll gently let that foot come down. And we'll relax into our chair and just take a moment. If you're sitting up at the edge of your chair, you can come back, as we call it, slumping into the chair, a Shlompasana. Let's just take a couple breaths. So even that short amount of time, we've done several stretches to the lower body. And then when you're ready, we'll come back up to sitting straight up. If, however that feels to you, you can scooch up in your chair, or just bring the top of your head towards the ceiling. And then what we'll do is we're going to bring our arms out to the side and wiggle our fingers. So I'm just holding here, and I'm going to count to 5 as I wiggle my fingers. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then whether you make a fist or just keep your hands out, we'll just roll the wrist in one direction. So I'm rolling my wrist forward. I can have a fist, or I can keep my fingers out. 4 and 5. And then in the other direction, 2, 3, 4. Good. And then bring your arms down. Sometimes just holding your arms out can be kind of exhausting. So take a little moment and regroup here. Let your arms rest. Okay, that was your little rest period, not too long. Bring your arms out in front, wave high to me. 3, 4, 5, and then fingers down, and we'll just wiggle our fingers with our arms, fingers down, hands facing down. Good. And then bring your hands up to your elbows, and we're going to bring our elbows out and then together. They might not want to come together all the way, and that's fine. Wherever they want to come today, we'll do 5 of these. And out, and in, out, and in, out, and in. One more. Now bring your elbows out and keep them out. We're gently holding onto our shoulders. And we're just going to let those elbows do some circles, and we'll feel some nice stretches in our shoulders. 3, 4, 5. Pause and go in the opposite direction. And we'll do 5 of these. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. And then arms come down and relax. That was a lot for the arms. And then once again, relax your back. You can come back to the back of your chair, relax. You could even take a drink of water. If you have some water here, so it's not a bad idea to keep water around, or some kind of drink. Now the next thing I want to do is just gently warm up the neck and the shoulders. So we're just going to do head turns. So just by moving my head to one direction, I'm getting a nice stretch on my neck, and then I'm slowly moving in another direction, and opposite, and 3 more times in each direction. So we want to do this nice and slow. We don't really want to whip our head around. And we just want to go as far, look as far as it's kind of comfortable, where we feel a nice stretch on our neck, but not too much. Good. And then when you're ready, you'll come to center, your head is center, and then bring one ear towards the shoulder. Now both shoulders are down and relaxed, but the ear is coming towards the shoulder. Now what happens is you feel a nice stretch on the opposite side of your neck. And then center, and then opposite. And just pause here while you're breathing. And then center. Great. Beautiful. Now, the next thing we're going to do is roll our shoulders back. So a lot of us, me included, I'm on my device a lot, and what happens is our head tends to be forward, and our shoulders, our posture is not good. So we want to roll our shoulders back, and I'll do that with you. We're going to do that 5 times. Now, if you want to get your elbows involved, that's fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that feels so good. So good. Okay, super, super. Great job so far. So let's see what I have time for. I want to do 2 things that you might want to try keep in your toolkit. One, I wanted to present something that would be calming, and one, I want to present something that would be sort of more invigorating. So let's do the calming one first, because I have some other yoga to do with you after these 2. So for calming, I thought we could try the bee breath or Brahmari breath. And that is a practice that has been used in yoga for relaxing. Any kind of singing or humming is very good, chanting. And if you've taken my yoga class, we often will hum or say la, or we will make sounds. Those are very good for us. So I wanted to teach the bee breath, and what we're basically going to do is we're going to inhale through our nose, and then we're going to exhale through, as we say, a bee would say, like a buzz. So it looks like, going to look like this. Inhale. Like you're in a beehive or something. And this is very calming, and it can extend the exhale. Anytime you're extending the exhale, you'll feel that parasympathetic response, and you'll calm a little bit. So we're going to do it just with one hand on the chest, one hand on the belly. We're going to do it 3 times, and then I'll show you another way to do it. So inhaling through the nose, like hands, and and that might be very calming to you already, or you might not like it, you just don't do anymore. But if you do like it, you could even add, that was kind of a modified, and as the yogis do, they start closing their ears and their eyes. So instead of putting our hands on our belly and our chest, we can put them over our ear, and we can also close down our eyes. And the bee sound, the humming bee sound, the buzzing will be louder with our ears covered. So we're going to do 2 of those. So again, inhaling through the nose. Okay, great. Relax your hands, relax your body, and let the bees go off and pollinate. So if your hands are over your ears, it can be quite loud, and it's very interesting. So I hope you would consider using that if you're feeling stressed out. The other thing I wanted to do is the breath of joy, and you guys might have done that already in yoga. So this is a more invigorating practice, so it will kind of be very useful for that 3 or 3:30 slump in the day, and you might decide to do this rather than have coffee if you can't take a nap. So our arms are going to go in the front and then out, and in the front, and then kind of down. We're going to do a little bit of a downward. So it goes like this, like this, like this, and down. And the breath goes 3 little sips of inhale. So inhale, 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 and then exhale, ha, with a ha. So how it looks is like this. Let me show you 2. Huh. Huh. So that is I'm gonna do 5, and you're gonna do as many as you want to do. So we don't want you shouldn't get really dizzy. Your booty's on the chair always in chair yoga, so you're safe, and you might want to try this with me. So inhale, 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 huh. 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 One more. Huh. So that's called the breath of joy. I hope you like that. And then I do have time to do a few more things. So I'm going to start out with the cat-cow, which several of you have done. So in the cat-cow, we are going to raise our spine tall for the cow. Shoulders go back. You might even feel like a little bit of a back bend. And you're looking maybe where the ceiling meets the wall. And then when you do the cat, the back rounds, the head releases. And if you want to do that with the breath, you would inhale on the cow, You would inhale or say moo, and then exhale on the cat or say meow. Inhale, we'll do 3 more sets. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, back rounds, head releases comfortably. Last time. That's the cat-cow. Great. And then let's do a couple of forward folds. We kind of did the partial forward fold in the breath of joy where we hinged at the hip and came down. So we're going to do that 5 times. The heart stays high, but very good for digestion. And after this, I'll show you another one for digestion. This is so good. Anytime our belly and our thighs are meeting like that, it's good for digestion. And then last time, I lost count. So that's about 5. And then we're going to do a wide-legged forward fold. So kind of Sabra's in my way, but just spreading our legs a little wider. And then you'll notice when you're coming down, you can go a little further. You don't want to go too far. You want to keep your head kind of high, head above the heart. But your belly can go a little farther down. And then let's do 2 more after this one. Inhale tall, exhale hinging at the hips. Inhale tall, exhale hinging at the hips. So that's super good for digestion, as is the twist. So I want to do the twist. So we want to do a gentle twist. So legs are comfortable. They can be a little bit wider apart, or they can be close together, whatever feels comfortable. Arms come into a Y, and then we twist the spine to one side to wherever feels good, and then relax the hands. And just we're going to stay here for a count of 3 breaths. And then on the next inhale, your arms can come back up and come to center. And then you'll twist to the other side. And again, let your arms relax. Your spine is still tall. You don't want to go to where it hurts, just to where it feels kind of nice. 2 more breaths here. And then we'll bring our arms up in a Y and then down. Nice. And then let's do our laterals. So this time we're going to bring arm of your choice up. And if you're having trouble bringing your arm up, you don't have to bring it up. You can bring it up partially, or you can just leave it down. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to get a lateral stretch. So the side of our body, this side of our body is getting a stretch, and we can use the arms, but we don't have to. We still get a nice stretch to our spine. So we don't want to lean forward or back. We're just kind of staying in upright. And we're breathing here. And then reaching up for the sky, and then letting that arm come down. Inhaling the other arm up if you're using your arms today. Exhaling, side bend. Breathing here, feeling an opening here of this side body. And then reaching up to the sky and then relaxing. Beautiful, beautiful. So I wanted to do a couple more things. One is just to do oh yes, I did want to give you a tip about constipation. I know that digestion can be an issue for all of us. So if that is your issue, if that's not your issue, don't practice this with me. But if you are feeling constipated, we have a movement that we do in yoga that really helps that. So if you think about the middle of your body stays still, and then your upper body is making circles around the middle of your body. And they can be wide circles or small circles. And we want to kind of do this slowly and mindfully. And you could do maybe 3 to 5 in one direction just to try it. We did about 3, and then we'll do 3 in the other direction. So I wanted to give you that as a tip if you do find that you are constipated. So all these will be good for your digestion. So lastly, I want to show you a mudra, and then we'll do a little relaxation. So I'm going to come a little closer to the screen to show you this mudra. So basically, I'm taking one hand and I'm cupping it. And then I'm taking another hand and I'm cupping that on top. So I took my left hand and put my right hand on top of it. And then I meet my thumbs meet. And then I'm going to take that mudra, I'm going to sit, I'm going to relax in my chair. I'm going to let that mudra just come to my lap. This is just a very calming and relaxing mudra. One of the affirmations just is to say to yourself, I am whole and complete. Nothing to add, nothing to take away. I am whole and complete. Nothing to add, nothing to take away. I am whole and complete. Nothing to add, nothing to take away. And just holding this mudra, you might just notice yourself relaxing. I like this mudra, and you can do it without anybody even looking. So like if you're at a job interview and you just want to feel kind of calm, you probably wouldn't want to do the bee breath, but you could do this mudra. Mudras are hand gestures that have been done for the yogis, by the yogis for lots of years, and they just move energy in the body. So let's release that mudra and let our hands just relax in our lap. And let's take the next 6 or 7 minutes to really let ourselves relax. First, see, Sabra sort of started off already for us. But so we want to find a position that's good for relaxation. After we do a yoga session, even if it's 10 minutes of yoga or we did about 30 minutes of yoga, we always want to find time to integrate. So we want to pause and relax and feel into our body. We want to feel into our body with every pose and stretch we do. But at the end of yoga, this what we call Shavasana, is so important to integrate all those poses and to just let our body rest and relax. So finding whatever is the most comfortable position for you. If you can relax in your chair, great. If you are able to get onto a sofa or something and you want to do that, that's great too. That's fine. Whatever works for you. You could take a drink if you're thirsty. And we're going to just notice sensations in the body during this relaxation. Noticing the sensations of the feet and the toes, the heel and the sole of each foot, right and left. Just noticing it might feel neutral, there might be tingling, there might be warmth or coolness, you might feel the clothing on your skin. There's no wrong answer. So we want to get used to sensing the body. It's a mindful practice to sense the body, and it's just becoming so there's so many studies about how mindfulness can help us, not only in this situation we find ourselves in with the pandemic, but just all the time, just to counteract stress or fear or anxiety. We all have anxiety. So feeling then, moving your awareness up to the calves, the front and the back, the shins, noticing any sensations there. And then if you're comfortable, you can close your eyes, or if not, you can just kind of gaze down at the ground is just sort of another signal to the body that you're relaxing. You're not, looking around. You don't have to look around. And then let yourself call your attention to your knees, feeling the knees and the space behind the knees. And then your thighs, the top of your thighs, the sides and the back, inner and outer thighs. And then bringing your attention to the pelvic floor, the pelvic bones, the hips. Noticing sensations there, the lower belly, the navel and the middle belly. Bringing your awareness to that area of the middle body, the ribs, all the internal organs there. And then bringing your awareness to the shoulders, the right and the left shoulder. Seeing and making sure there's no tension. Maybe sometimes when I'm doing a body scan like this, I relax each part of the body as it's mentioned. So on the right shoulder, taking your attention from the right shoulder all the way down to the upper arm, the right elbow, the lower arm, the right hand, and all the fingers. And then the left shoulder, the left upper arm, the left elbow, lower arm, and the left hand, and all the fingers. And then bringing your awareness to the neck, the back of the neck, the top of the spine, running your awareness all the way down from the top to the bottom of the spine. All the way from where your head starts to the very bottom of your spine. That's on your seat. And then bring your awareness to your collarbones, your neck, your chin, the jaw. See if you can relax your jaw. The ears, inner and outer ears, the whole face. Bring your awareness to the whole face, and you might want to relax the whole face. And the forehead, and the crown of the head, and the back of the head. All that area of the face and the head. And then just run your awareness from the top of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes. Have an experience of feeling the whole body all at once. Whole body sensation. And then bringing again your attention to the breath, just like we did in the beginning. Notice the inhale and the exhale. Notice if the breath feels smooth, rough, or choppy. Again, inquiry without judgment. Notice if you're feeling the breath in the nose, in the mouth, in the chest, in the belly. Notice if the inhale feels longer than the exhale, or the exhale feels longer than the inhale. And then let your breath become a little deeper. Maybe do some little movements with your fingers, with your toes, your feet. Maybe moving your head from side to side as a gentle way of returning to this time and this place. And I just want to thank you for coming to yoga. If your eyes are closed, you can open them. Be gentle with yourself. Hopefully you can have something to drink before your next session, some water or some smoothie. So I just want to thank you, and I totally look forward to seeing all of you at the conference next year, which hopefully will be in person. And Sabra says hi. Right, Sabra? I know you guys are fans of Sabra's. And so in yoga, we often end with our hands in this mudra, Anjali Mudra. And we say a phrase in yoga, Namaste, which basically means I see and honor you, each of you. And although we are going through cyberspace this year, my heart goes out to all of you, and I hope you're safe and well, and look forward to seeing you next year. Namaste.